Alrighty, what is going on? It is Friday. Been a slow week. We have got 9:45 news, which I'll wait for, and then also consumer sentiment, which I'm not a fan of. So we'll see what happens. On the daily, NQ still in this daily imbalance and still not taken this daily high that ES has taken, so the SMT is still in place. Zooming in, there's another SMT, very clear. This high, ES is higher, NQ is lower. So another bearish SMT. That's two bearish SMTs in a daily imbalance. That is very bearish, and also two daily fair value gaps that we could expect to be the draw on liquidity, because that is price moves to hunt liquidity, generate liquidity, rebalance to equilibrium, and rebalance to inefficiencies. So there's very much possibility. But on the 4 hour more recently, this is the move down, changing the state, whatever. 4 hour imbalance is holding bullish. We wick close above, wick close above, wick close above. After rebalancing price. But in addition to that, we are also like back in the OTE of this range. So honestly, very neutral today, very neutral bias. Zooming in again on the 1 hour now. This is the 4 hour that's holding. Yeah, zooming in again. Not to me, the internal model is pretty bullish. External 1 hour high, generating buy side, and we've just on the 5 minute completed this little internal model that played out with buy side now being taken. So honestly, who knows what is going to happen? We are not at that buy side level yet on ES, so that is another bearish SMT for the time being, but I doubt that will hold. There was an SMT at these lows. I just marked it just for the sake of it, because that is the sell side of this potential sell model. So honestly, the model isn't clear. The high time frame is very mixed because we're in a daily imbalance, daily two bearish SMTs, but also daily imbalances below. But zooming in, it's a lot more bullish because this is held bullish. The internal model looks more bullish. So honestly, a tricky day. We'll be looking to be patient, be disciplined, de-risked. So that is what I'm looking at pre-market. Peace out. Alrighty, so I am done. No trade was taken, which I'm completely fine with. I did chart a trade though. I did chart the shorts that pretty much a lot of people in the Discord took that trade similar to me. I didn't like it. I wasn't confident in my bias. I wasn't confident in what I was looking for because price action just wasn't very nice. So I'm glad I stayed away, even though the trade I did chart played out, which I will cover, and I've got a screenshot of it as well. I didn't. There was some extra confirmation that I could have looked at and used to get in, but again, I just wasn't confident in the bias, wasn't confident in the draw, and whatnot. So if we recall, I was bearish because we were in this daily gap still. SMT at these daily highs, SMT at these 4 hour highs. And then that was why I was bearish, but I was bullish because this 4 hour had held, this 4 hour Ferrari gap had held bullish the whole time, 4 hour change in the state right there. So I was very mixed. There was a lot of conflict going on in my bias. But upon looking after this move happened and we didn't take any of these lows, I was like, we have very clear generated liquidity here. I don't have it marked, but generated low resistance liquidity right here. So a very sloppy sell model. I think I did mention this, we're making our way up. Very sloppy sell model here. And of course, we did come into and take that buy side level, but the SMT still held. There's no fair value gap over here, no. This SMT still held. This one still held as well, obviously, from this high. This one from that high still held. There was no SMT internally as both indexes took that buy side level right here, as you can see. Both took that level. So no SMT there, but obviously this SMT was still holding. This mega SMT here was still holding. So yeah, very clear generated sell side all through here. Sloppy sell model up to buy side, and we grinded our way up. And in the process, this 15-minute imbalance, we wicked it and closed. So to me, that was in essence to get to that buy side level. You know, if we hold this, we expect to take buy side, whatever. And also we inverse this 5-minute gap. News was pretty big today. The 9:45 news was a lot bigger. Here's 9:45 news, straight wick to buy side. 10 a.m. news was less. This was 10 a.m. news, not very big at all. Previous consumer sentiments have been massive wicks, small closes. This was nothing. But yeah, so what I was looking at was once that buy side was taken, there was a 5-minute change in the state, but this isn't really a change in the state because this didn't really manipulate a key level. It just took this low. That is not really, to me, important low. So that's why there was an SMT at that low as well. But again, it's not an important low, so I don't class it as it. So this wasn't really an SMT change in the state. But what I was looking at was, right, we've got a 5-minute inverse. We've got a 5-minute. We've got a 5-minute gap attack right here. 5-minute gap. This and then also this 5-minute breaker, all in the same area. I don't want to short in that area because I've done that before. But the opposite direction. If we look at the 5-minute, I've took longs when we've had a 5-minute change in the state, 5-minute imbalance, 5-minute breaker. So I don't want to make that mistake again. So I'm glad that I recognize that again this day as well. Look on the 5-minute, I took longs after the 5-minute change in the state, 5-minute breaker and 5-minute fair value gap. So I didn't want to make the same mistakes the opposite direction. I didn't want to take a short in a 5-minute imbalance, 5-minute change in state and 5-minute breaker. But again, these examples were a lot more clear than this today because there was no actual sell side taken to make it a change in the state. So that's partially on me. But anyway, I still wasn't confident in my bias. I wasn't confident in what I was looking for because price action was very sloppy. But again, clear generated sell side right there. So that should have been a key thing for me. Clear low resistance liquidity in a high time frame imbalance. You know, that is a draw. We rebalance inefficiencies. We hunt liquidity. So there's that. Anyway, buy side was taken at 9:45, and then obviously we take the internal high. Take the internal high again because we don't get any change in the state. We don't get any inverse yet. Again, there is an imbalance right here. We close through it by 1 tick. That is not an inverse. I want to see clean run through it like this one here. We've got another inverse. This is a clean displacement through, and so is this one, clean displacement through. So internal high taken, internal high taken. We did have an SMT as well at these highs. SMT right there, very clear. Boom, SMT. And then because this is the move up that is the manipulation, there's our 1-minute change in the state of delivery. And the trade I charted was this one. Oh, that is what I charted. And you can see right here, 9:58 time. Too close to news. We had 10 a.m. news. We had my least favorite news, consumer sentiment and consumer confidence, and my least favorite news of all time. I was not confident taking this close to news. So I didn't take it, but I charted it. Down to sell side. It's a 2.47R, 90 tick stop, so it would have been a micro, not NQ, because it's too big for NQ. But what I should have took as confirmation to actually enter now was the 10 a.m. news candle wicked and held the inverse still. We did never close back through the inverse fair value gap. So I could have entered again at this close or at this close to see a bearish candle out. Stop at the SMT high still. Targeting that internal sell side. It's still a 2-hour trade. So today I've marked it as a no trading day. I think I did everything right, but I'm just saying small mistakes because I didn't take on board the new data. I didn't take on board, right, the news wasn't that big. I'm good to get into a trade now. Because buy side taken, high time from SMT in a daily imbalance. This was the clear trade. I'm unsure whether Justin has took anything yet. But again, not bothered if he has or if he hasn't, because I wasn't confident with this one, so I didn't take it. It's different than Tuesday, because obviously I missed this short because I hesitated, not because I wasn't confident. I hesitated. On this trade, I looked at it and I was like, I'm not taking this. I'm not confident. This one, I was like, I'm confident this is where we're going, but I hesitated on this short. So it's different, which is why it's not an angry. I didn't hesitate. I just wasn't confident. Obviously, price has come down now. Took that internal sell side. Have we hit standard deviation? We have hit standard deviation just about on this 1 minute manipulation leg in the 4-hour fair value gap still. And now we're starting to see legs up again. So we can expect price to rebalance to where equilibrium of the range. We just had a 1 minute change in the state as well. So again, that is, what am I doing? A trade in itself, just targeting equilibrium of the range again because standard deviation was hit. But why would you take something like that? Because it's just not worth it. So that is my recount of price action. Just mark that out there. Like, should I have taken that short? Probably. What would the risk have looked like? Say I entered on this close, stop right there. If I put my stop there, that's risky, but I could have took it on NQ. But that is hella risky. If I'd done that, I would have risked $350 and made 1,050, I believe. Yeah, 1050. But realistically, the trade will look something like that. So what? Three micros, risking $153, and if I took it all off at internal, making 315. So at the end of the day, I probably should have took this, but at the time I wasn't confident. I didn't have the conviction that I needed to take trades. It wasn't really A plus. I mean, it kind of was. Buy side taken in that massive daily gap, with potentially the overall high time frame draw being these daily imbalances, this 4-hour imbalance, and there was a clean internal model right there. So yeah, it is what it is. I don't care about this trade at all. Don't care. And it is what it is. We move on from these top days. I wasn't fully confident, and how can I make myself more confident? Well, look at what the news candle actually does. I did sort of just switch off, to be honest. I wasn't really present in my brain. I was just sort of watching. I wasn't really switched on. So I wasn't looking to take the trade, but I should have been. But it is what it is. I've no reason to be annoyed by this. I've no reason to get upset over this. It's been a slow week. I've only took 2 trades this week. That one on Tuesday, that was a little bit forced when I missed the main one. And then yesterday was out at break even. So it could have been a much bigger week if I didn't hesitate. If I didn't hesitate on Tuesday, that would have been an $1,000 day. And today could have been a nice winner as well. Yesterday I did everything right. But it is what it is. It was a slower week because of the news, because of the bank holiday. It was a slower week overall. which is fine. I'm fine with that. And it's been a okay week. I've certainly learned certain things about myself, that hesitation. So it's always a good week. With that being said, that wraps up the video. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.